Life, from an outsider's perspective, was a tapestry woven with threads of accomplishment. The city buzzed with energy, a reflection of my own relentless drive. Every morning I woke up with a sense of purpose, ready to conquer the challenges of the day. My days were a whirlwind of construction projects, strategic decisions, and the thrill of seeing buildings rise from the ground. The construction site was my battlefield, and I thrived on the adrenaline rush that came with each successful project. The satisfaction of seeing my ideas come to life, of watching my company grow, was unparalleled. Evenings were dedicated to family dinners, laughter echoing through our well-appointed home. My wife and children were my anchor, grounding me amidst the chaos of my professional life. We shared stories, dreams, and plans for the future, creating memories that I hoped would last a lifetime. Weekends were a kaleidoscope of social gatherings, charity events, and holidays in far-flung destinations. We traveled to exotic locations, basking in the sun and enjoying the luxuries that success afforded us. Our social calendar was always full, a testament to the vibrant life we led. Friends and colleagues often remarked on my seemingly effortless juggling act. They saw a man who had mastered the art of balancing work and personal life, someone who made it all look so easy. Their admiration was palpable, and I couldn't help but feel a sense of pride. "You have it all," they'd say, their voices tinged with a mixture of admiration and envy. I would smile and nod, accepting their compliments with grace. On the surface, they weren't wrong. My life was full, overflowing even, with all the trappings of success. And on the surface, they weren't wrong. I had the beautiful wife, the intelligent children, the thriving business. I was living the dream, wasn't I? I had the beautiful wife, the intelligent children, the thriving business. Our family portraits were picture perfect, capturing moments of joy and togetherness. We played in the backyard, our laughter filling the air, a testament to the happiness we shared. I was living the dream, wasn't I? But as I stood on the balcony, overlooking the city that never slept, a sense of unease began to creep in. The view was breathtaking, but it couldn't mask the growing emptiness inside me. But beneath the veneer of perfection, a storm was brewing. The storm clouds gathered, casting a shadow over my seemingly perfect life. The pressure to maintain the facade was immense, and I felt like I was constantly on the verge of breaking. A darkness I couldn't outrun. No matter how hard I tried to escape it, the darkness followed me, a constant reminder of my inner turmoil. I walked down empty streets, my mind racing with thoughts I couldn't control. The truth was, behind closed doors, I was waging a silent battle against an invisible enemy. The enemy was relentless, attacking me when I least expected it. I felt trapped, unable to share my struggles with anyone. An enemy that threatened to consume me entirely. The darkness loomed large, threatening to engulf me. I stood in a dark room, a single light illuminating my face, a stark contrast to the shadows that surrounded me. The battle was far from over, but I knew I had to keep fighting for the sake of my family, my business, and myself. The pressure to maintain this facade of success was overwhelming. Every day felt like a performance, a relentless act to convince the world and myself that I had everything under control. The weight of expectations, both self-imposed and from those around me, was suffocating. I was constantly on edge, fearing that any misstep would reveal the painful truth. The business, while outwardly prosperous, was burdened with hidden debts. The financial strain was a well-kept secret, masked by a veneer of success. I spent countless hours poring over financial documents, desperately trying to find a way out of the mounting debt. Each overdue bill was a reminder of my precarious situation, a ticking time bomb that could explode at any moment. The weight of financial insecurity pressed down on me, a constant source of anxiety. Nights were the worst. I would lie awake, my mind racing with thoughts of impending doom. The fear of losing everything I had worked so hard to build was paralyzing. My days were filled with nervous energy, my hands constantly ringing or fidgeting, my mind never at peace. To escape this harsh reality, I turned to online gambling, believing I could win my way out of trouble. The allure of a quick fix was too tempting to resist. I convinced myself that one big win would solve all my problems, that luck would be on my side. The online casino became my refuge, a place where I could momentarily forget my troubles and chase the illusion of easy money. Of course, this only made things worse, digging me deeper into a financial hole I feared I might never escape. Each loss was a blow to my already fragile psyche. Each failed bet a step further into despair. The more I gambled, the more I lost, and the more desperate I became. My wallet grew emptier, and my hope dwindled with each passing day. Alcohol became another crutch, a way to numb the fear and self-loathing that gnawed at my insides. The burn of the liquor was a temporary balm, a way to silence the voices of doubt and regret. I found solace in the bottom of a glass, each drink a fleeting escape from the harsh reality I faced. The bar became my sanctuary, a place where I could drown my sorrows and forget, if only for a little while. Each drink was a temporary escape, a brief respite from the turmoil raging within, but the relief was always short-lived, the pain and regret waiting just around the corner. The more I drank, the more I needed to drink to achieve the same numbness. It was a vicious cycle, one that left me feeling more empty and lost than before. But the relief was always fleeting, the consequences growing more dire with each passing day. The empty bottles piled up, a testament to my growing dependence. I would sit in the dark, surrounded by the remnants of my attempts to escape, feeling the weight of my choices pressing down on me. The regret was overwhelming. The realization that I was only making things worse sinking in deeper with each drink. The cracks in my carefully constructed facade were beginning to show, threatening to shatter the illusion of the perfect life I had so carefully crafted. The mask I wore was slipping, the stress and strain becoming too much to hide. I could see the cracks in the mirror, the reflection of a person on the brink of collapse. The illusion was crumbling, and I was terrified of what would happen when it finally shattered. The weight of these secrets became an almost physical burden. I carried them everywhere, a leaden cloak draped over my shoulders. I became increasingly adept at hiding my struggles, donning a mask of cheerfulness for the outside world. But behind closed doors, the mask slipped. The exhaustion of maintaining this charade was taking its toll. I was trapped in a vicious cycle of despair, unable to confide in anyone for fear of judgment or worse, pity. The isolation was suffocating. I felt like an imposter living a lie. The disconnect between my public persona and my private reality grew wider with each passing day. My wife, bless her heart, tried to understand. She always had a way of sensing when something was wrong, even before I could put it into words. Her eyes would search mine, looking for answers that I couldn't give. She sensed my growing distance, the wall I had erected between us. It wasn't just a physical distance, but an emotional chasm that seemed to widen with each passing day. The more I withdrew, the more she reached out, trying to pull me back from the edge. But how could I explain the unexplainable? How could I make her understand the turmoil that raged inside me, the storm that I couldn't control? I felt like a prisoner in my own mind, trapped by thoughts and feelings that I couldn't escape. How could I articulate the darkness that had taken root in my soul? It was a darkness that consumed me, leaving me feeling hollow and empty. I wanted to tell her, to share my pain, but the words always seemed to get stuck in my throat. Arguments became more frequent, our conversations laced with unspoken resentment. Every word, every gesture seemed to carry a weight that neither of us could bear. We were like two strangers, living under the same roof but worlds apart. She felt shut out, and rightfully so. I could see the pain in her eyes, the hurt that I was causing her. She deserved better, but I didn't know how to give it to her. I was lost, and in my confusion I was losing her too. But I didn't know how to bridge the chasm that had opened between us. It felt like an insurmountable gap, one that I didn't have the strength to cross. I wanted to reach out, to hold her, to tell her that everything would be okay, but the words never came. I was drowning, and in my desperation, I was pulling her under with me. The guilt was unbearable. I could see the toll it was taking on her, the way it was breaking her spirit. She was my anchor, my rock, and yet I was dragging her down into the depths of my despair. I loved my family dearly, Yet I was hurting them with my silence, my inability to confront the demons that haunted me. I wanted to be the husband and father they deserved, but I felt like I was failing them at every turn. The weight of my own inadequacies was crushing me, and I didn't know how to break free. Social gatherings became an excruciating exercise in pretense. I would plaster on a smile, engage in superficial conversations, all the while feeling utterly alone. The laughter of others felt like a foreign language, their joy a stark contrast to the emptiness within me. I was surrounded by people, yet utterly alone in my despair. The irony was not lost on me. Here I was, living a life most people could only dream of, yet I felt like a fraud, a failure. The discrepancy between my external reality and my internal state was jarring, a constant source of confusion and shame. In the end, the realization dawns that depression is not a sign of weakness, but a testament to the strength it takes to face each day. It's okay to not be okay, and seeking help is a step towards healing. Remember, you're not alone in this battle. Each step, no matter how small, is a victory. Every day you wake up and decide to keep going, you are proving your strength. Let this be a reminder that there is always hope, even in the darkest of times. Reach out, speak up, and know that your story is worth sharing. You are not alone. Help is always within reach. Pause 3S. As we conclude, take a moment to reflect on the journey. From the isolation in a room full of smiles to the realization that seeking help is a sign of strength, it's clear that the path to healing is not linear, but it's worth every step. Remember, it's okay to reach out, it's okay to ask for help. And most importantly, it's okay to not be okay. You are stronger than you think, and this world is better with you in it. If you are struggling with depression, please seek help. Reach out to loved ones for support. You don't have to go through this alone.